All right, Ruth. It says that we're live.
Like people that call you on the photo.
Hey, good evening, everybody. I'm Brother Washington Muhammad. I use the pronouns he and him. I want to welcome everybody to the CSRN Video Minutes. This is our weekly podcast where we talk about things that we've done last week and things that have happened last week. Some of the things that we've got planned in the future, and a few things that we're doing right now. Today I have on a black hat. I've got my brown glasses on. Got a black tee with a picture of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad on it. And as always, I'm dedicated to respecting, defending, and protecting all black bodies, no matter the cost, no matter the gains or loss. And it's great to be here. We're on our 6th year. We were formed with the idea that you can't organize outside of religion, outside of politics, and I'm forever thankful for Mike Leonardi and Jabril Bey for coming up with this idea that you don't have to be a pastor or preacher, politician, or professional to stand up and speak truth to power. All right. Enough said. We're going to go ahead and start with our mission statement. I'm going to have Jody introduce himself, maybe say a little bit about you, all right? It is Black History Month, and you say you Black History 24/7, all right? And which he is. If you can go ahead and get started with our mission statement.
All right, that works. What's up, everybody? My name is Jody J. Summers, child of the system, better known as Spoken Truth. I'm a brown skull. Yeah. I'm a brown skin tone bear of a man that's covered in tattoos and crystals and piercings and all of that other stuff. Yet I walk through more doors than I ever thought possible. I am wearing a plain black shirt for like once. But like ever, there's nobody's logo on here. I'm not trying to. I don't have nothing on there, but of course, my crystals and stuff like that. Navy jeans, of course, that crystal carriers and stuff like that. And we say this because you just may be listening to this at home. Not all of us are sitting down watching it, and I've been told my voice can be kind of relaxing, so that's why we give our descriptions for those that may not be able to see us at all. And this is our mission. Oh, my pronouns are him, he, and we. Okay, there we go. That sounds like all the buttons pushed.
Yes, sir.
Our mission statement. We are the commodity. Oh, wow. Tongue-tied today. We are the Community Solidarity Response Network of Toledo, formed on November 25th, 2014, the day after that it was announced that the killer, a Ferguson, Missouri police officer, of Michael Brown, an unarmed teenager, would not be indicted. We bring awareness to the injustices experienced by Black men, women, and children who are disproportionately murdered, attacked, provoked, and harassed by law enforcement. Police brutality has to end. We bring awareness to the fact that most often police brutality goes without consequence or accountability. Police impunity has to end. We utilize the tactics of civil protest, civil disobedience, event disruption, and citizen advocacy to give voice to those who are otherwise voiceless. We facilitate progressive community-based events that help foster self-development, and we discuss measures to hold local leadership accountable to their sworn duties, be they politicians, clergy, law enforcement, educators, etc., etc. We want justice, equal justice under the law, equal justice applied equally to everyone, regardless of creed, class, or color. For all lives to matter, Black lives must matter. And justice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere.
All right, and that's Reverend Martin Luther King. All right, see,
you got to
stop. No.
You could have took the mask off.
All right,
yeah,
that's
no, that's good.
and it seems like Jody, you added a little bit more spoken word to our mission statement. All right, and that's all good.
Just a little bit.
All right.
Just a little bit.
Hey, listen, and for everybody, if you're watching, just say what's up in the chat. Let us know that you're on board with CSRN, and we take this work serious, and we're thankful for everyone that views our minutes, everyone that supports us, everybody that presses like. We really appreciate that. These are our guiding principles I'm going to read, and our guiding principles are those things that keep everything on track. Activist culture and the movement work that we do, man, it can be exhausting, but we have to find some type of framework that keeps us safe, not only from ourselves, but safe from everything that happens to us, from worrying too much, from being too concerned, and possibly burning out. These are our guiding principles. Thriving instead of surviving. Our vision is based on the world we want, not the one we're currently in. We seek to transform, not simply react. We want our people to thrive, not just exist. Think beyond the possible. Ashe?
Ashe.
And Ashe means one who changes a thing or one who makes a thing happen. Experimentation and innovation must be built into our work. Embrace the best tools, practices, and tactics, and leave those behind that no longer serve us. Ashe?
Ashe.
Evaluation and assessment must be built into our culture. Critical reflection must be a part of all of our work. We learn from our mistakes and our victories. Ashe?
Ashe.
Principled struggle can exist in a positive. We must be honest with one another by embracing direct, loving communication. Ashe?
Ashe.
Love, self-love, is practiced in every element of all we do. Love and self-love must be a driver of our work and an indicator of our success. Without this principle and without healing, we will harm each other and undermine our movement. Ashe?
Ashe.
360-degree vision. We honor past struggles and wisdom from elders. The work we do today builds the foundations of movements of tomorrow. We consider our mark on future generations. Ashe?
Ashe.
Self-care means we build resilient spaces by budgeting time, energy, and resources for healing. Self-care is a regular, consistent, intentional, and essential practice. Ashe?
Ashe.
The most directly affected people are experts at their own lives and should be in leadership at the center of our movement and telling their stories directly. Ashe?
Ashe.
Training and leadership development should be fundamental. Our movement must constantly grow and leadership must constantly multiply. Ashe?
Ashe.
All Black lives matter. Queer Black lives, trans Black lives, formerly and presently incarcerated Black lives, poor working class Black lives, differently abled Black lives, Black men and women's lives, immigrant Black lives, Black elderly and children lives. All Black lives matter and are the creators of this space. We throw no one under the bus. We rise together. Ashe?
Ashe.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for being in the chat. Look, Jody, before we take a break, I just wanted to ask you a question. Yes, we're into Black History Month. History is 24/7, 365 plus, or at least for Ruth, all right? For Ruth. Hey, look, what does this month mean to you?
It's a chance that basically this year is different. Last couple of years have been different. But if you're in any type of schooling system and you look like me, regardless how you feel when you get older, you get a chance to maybe dig a little bit deeper, scratch a couple fingernail scratches because you're highlighted. Yes, it's can be thought of in so many ways, but I mean, It's something, it's a start. It's what makes people go out and be inventors and politicians and teachers and doctors and lawyers and all of that stuff because they had somebody to show them that they cared, even if it was for a moment. A lot of people don't get a hug. This is kind of like a hug. It's a nice one,
Yes,
that friendship one. But you need to force that. We all need to start hugging each other. So that's what it is. It's this month of the year, but it's something to build on because what was it, a day, a week?
Yeah.
Now we have flags and holidays. It may not happen in your generation, but it will happen. And for the people, because my sister got on me last week, take this little off screen, off camera, behind the fifth wall. What you see me doing on this phone this is it. We are grassroots. We don't pay for promotion. We're not trying to spend people's money so we can stay on the screen. So what I'm doing is if you see me in one of your groups or you see us on our post or in our stories, that's what I'm doing live. So if you do have a comment, we're talking to you. That's why I'm on the phone and I'm not paying attention.
All right. Hey, look, I see Patty. I see Mother Meek. All right. Yeah, hey, I see Hope. I even see Brunel. All right. So thank you everybody for joining us. Hey, listen, we're going to take a short break. We're going to come back and talk about mental health and wellness. We're going to talk about our Black Lives Matter awards and some of the things that we're doing in the community and lifting up some of the people that's really doing the work. So stay tuned. The CSRN Video Minutes come right back.
Yep.
Now you can get the same uncompromising truth you've come to expect from the Final Call newspaper on all your connected devices. Subscribe to the Final Call Digital Edition today. Go to subscribe.finalcalldigital.com.
Hey, I'm Dr. P. Not only am I a leadership coach, I'm a change agent, and I'm a race scholar. I've used my study of race to dismantle systems and organizations, but I also use that to help you as the individual become a better leader for your families and for your community.
Hey, welcome back. Welcome back. As always, I'm Brother Washington Muhammad, he, him. I'm here with Jody. These are video minutes. Before we get into the Black Lives Matter Awards and before we get into the Citizen Review Board update, every week we're with Ruth Leonard. She is our lead administrative core. That means that once we come up with some ideas of some things to do in the community, it may be a protest, it may be some acknowledgement of people that are really doing the work. We have to have some type of final say-so because Jody can't get his way all the time. I can't get my way all the time. And we kind of have a reasonable puts all this together, and Ruth is a wonderful woman, that wonderful human being that helped pull all this together, and we thank her for being here. She'll be jumping on soon. So we're really grateful for her. We're really grateful for everybody that participates with us. Some that you see like Ruth and Jody, and then there's a swell of people whom you don't see. And we appreciate everybody that helps us do this work, helps us stay healthy, stay sane, so that we can come back tomorrow. Speaking of staying safe, sane, I wanted to talk just a bit about mental health and wellness. I think for the last few weeks, we added this component to what we do. Protest culture, movement work, and activist culture does weigh heavy on a lot of us. Things that are going wrong in the community. Every day we're looking at ways that we can improve, and sometimes that could be placing a lot of trauma on someone that only exists to correct wrong. And sometimes we need to find some healthy ways to pull back, some healthy ways to step back, because if you don't it's a great chance you're going to get burnt out in this work. You're going to be disappointed. You're going to be upset. And we've seen time after time our brothers and sisters, our allies and comrades fall victim to that, including myself. All right. So none of us are immune to what we call, burnout or compassion fatigue, when we just care too much and we care to a fault. And that's when we try to do different things that can bring us back. So some of the tips that I'm a mental health specialist is some controlled breathing. When you feel that you're worrying about things that you may not be able to take care of, when you feel stressed by worrying about things that you believe that other people have control over and they're just not moving fast enough, take some time to take some breaths in. Recognize your breathing, listen to your breathing, exhale. Strive to drink a bit more water. One of the things that I see in activist culture, including myself, so I'm putting myself on Front Street, we drink a lot of coffee. We drink a lot of pop. We drink a lot of Mountain Dew. Yeah. We drink a lot of Monster Energy drinks because we got to do something to get back on that corner with those protest signs. We got to do something when someone calls CSRN and says, I need help now. Well, man,
it's 3 o'clock in the morning.
It's 3 o'clock in the morning. What are you going to do? And you've all seen some of the videos posted of activists being out all night, marching all night. And those things come with a cost. And it weighs heavy on our bodies. It weighs heavy on our minds, our spirits. So take some, we call that controlled breathing. Take some deep breaths in, exhale, exhale out. Try to drink more water. Try to get some rest, if you can. That helps. And I also wanted to list a number. Let me put this down here. Here's a number here. Yep. There's a number here for all of our Spanish-speaking brothers and sisters and comrades and allies. 866-712-4401. We're standing by to listen to you. We're standing by to show compassion, understanding, and concern for all of us who may feel stress and anxiety during these times. I heard one of my wise teachers say earlier, if you thought 2020 was bad, well, 2021 is 2020 all grown up, so
he can drink now.
Right, he could drink now. All right, so if he thought 2020 was bad, well, he could drink now. It's 2021. And all of us are falling victim to depression, anxiety, grief, disappointment. And there's people out here that understand us, and particularly activist culture, people of culture, people that love humanity that may fall victim to a panic attack and need someone to talk to. We're going to turn that over. All right. Hey, this is CSRN. So we always have one of those things happen. We just wanted to see if you caught it, all right? The sign was upside down. Having anxiety, depressed, or stressed, 866-712-4401. And we don't have to feel bad about asking for help. We believe that asking for help is a sign of strength. Asking for help is a sign of maturity, that you realize that you just can't do this alone. I can't do this without Ruth. I can't do this without Jody. I'm here for Jody. I'm here for Ruth. We're here for each other at CSRN, and we're here for the community as a whole. So I want to just highlight that, Jody, by discussing that. And then briefly, I don't know if Ruth is going to jump in, but I wanted to just talk briefly about.
I see that smile right there.
All right.
So she might be coming back, getting the commercial break.
All right. Well, I want to just briefly go over, what do we have next? The Lucas County Commissioners.
Yep.
All right. Today we were at the Lucas County Commissioners, and they asked us to do a presentation for Black History Month. Now, of course, we're not about doing a preschool presentation. This was asked this favor was asked by Commissioner Gherkin because he's trying to push the envelope just a bit further in how progressive Black voices can be in spaces that they're not normally in. So myself, Brianna, we have Brianna with us today.
Yeah,
man, okay, all right. And you'll meet Brianna and learn a bit more about her. And we had Jody with us. And as always, for CSRN, we are very revolutionary and progressive and radical in our thought, in our speech. And, we don't bite our tongue because we don't have to. We don't mince our words because, that's just not us. And I was glad to be, represented with two awesome individuals there. We spoke on Malcolm X and his life. How did he get his X? Did he just find it in a dictionary and add it to his name, which is not true? We talked about Bobby Seale, who's one of the co-founders of the Black Panthers, whom without the Black Panthers, we wouldn't be talking about school lunch.
Yep.
Without the Black Panthers, you wouldn't be talking about gun control, because before we took up arms legally ourselves,
counselors,
right, it wasn't no problem. And we talked about our dear sister, Angela Davis, who has continued being steadfast and a champion for us. And we laid it out. And I think we shared it on our page. If not, you can check Jody's page. Everything's shared on Jody's page. And you can see that. So I just wanted to list that. I think that we're going to break now. And I think when we come back, maybe we'll be ready for Ruth to jump in to talk about the Citizen Review Board and some of the things that she sees that's going down with our Black Lives Matter Award, the virtual edition, the first ever. So stay tuned. CSRN Video Minutes. Come right back. All right, we're back. CSRN Video Minutes. And now, listen, we talked about Ruth Leonard. We talked about her earlier as our lead administrative core, which is the referee of all of this. This is why we don't look like we're confused, all right? And we thank Ruth for that. And hopefully, Ruth, I'd heard that we're trying to bring a lot of the activist groups together to talk about what's next on the political front. And it'd be great to bring everybody back together and hear what everybody has to say regarding what's next in politics, what's next in the community, and what we have to say and what some of the other groups have to say. So, hey, Ruth, if we could bring you in right now, if you could talk about, well, I can't tell you what you talk about. Talk about whatever you want to talk about, but hey, the Black Lives Matter Wars, Citizens Review, Brianna. Hey, what's going on, Ruth?
All righty. Hello. I am so excited that I was able to make it to the meeting this evening because I have to admit, I was a little jealous because you guys did such a good job for your presentation to the Lucas County Commissioners. I was like, oh my gosh, I wish I was there. But you all know how to hold it down. So thank you, Jody. Thank you, Brother Washington. Thank you, Brianna. For those of you who may not have realized it, yes, there was a different Black woman that was sitting between them earlier today with the Lucas County Commissioners. That is our intern, Brianna Camden. She is a student at the University of Toledo. I cannot wait for her to be able to have some time in her schedule to jump into a meeting with CSRN, but she has already gone above and beyond anything that we could think, ask, or imagine of an intern. So shout out to Brianna. Thank you to everyone, every single person who has submitted a name or a business for our virtual Black Lives Matter awards. We did have an extension put in because we knew that we wanted to also include businesses that were foundational to Black culture, and we may not have made that specific enough in our first rollout. So if you have not already submitted a name or a business for the virtual Black Lives Matter awards, we want to celebrate all of those individuals and businesses that have made it a point that when the world was falling down and crumbling all around us in the midst of Corona, they kept the faith. They kept the Black Power movement going. They didn't let it get them down. They kept showing up. And we just want to give them their roses while we can. In that same token, we are still working with the city of Toledo on not only the civilian review board, but we are also still working with the mayor's police and civilian commission act, where you have that group of 35 individuals. I believe that there is a meeting that is scheduled within the next 2 weeks. There's been some up and downs in regards to what qualifies as progress and what qualifies as forward movement. Just know that for the people who are fighting on behalf and with CSRN, we are not budging on what freedom, equality, and justice looks like. So right now we're kind of in that push and pull and tug of war, because there's no room for us to back down. We can't back down, and we won't back down. There's another meeting actually that's also taking place with the Lucas County Commissioners. It's still in the very early planning stages, so the only thing I can tell you is that it's a collection of about 8 to 10 people who are working on something called the Safety and Justice Challenge. If you look it up online, you can go through the MacArthur Foundation and just get an idea of the work that we will be doing and that has been done. So CSRN is still busy. We're still in the business of grassroots movement work. We have not forgotten the fight that we started 6 years ago. But I'm really excited to see some progress being made. We're going from protest to policy. We are seeing how the sausage gets made, and we are all up in and through it. So
okay. Oh,
yep,
whoa, all right.
Yep,
Oh,
yep,
okay. I did not know I was all up in it.
the sausage maker of Northwest Ohio and Lucas County politics. And also one other thing I want to give a shout out to Tina Butts. Tina Butts has worked extensively with with multiple projects all around the city. Most recently, she did work with, I think it's called The Movement. And I just want to give Tina her flowers, like outside of the virtual awards and all of that. I just want to give Tina her flowers for constantly showing up and showing out for the people. We need more people like Tina, who are willing to put their feet in the fire and are willing to, go to bat for the community. And so I just wanted to it's on my heart to say thank you to Tina.
All right. Hey, okay. Well, one of the things that I wanted to ask you, I was talking with Jody earlier about Black History Month, and for you, Ruth Leonard, what does Black History Month mean to you? When does it start for you? All right. When does it end for you? But what does it mean to you, Ruth?
So Black History Month is technically only not happening for about 3 weeks out of the year, because my Black History Month goes from Martin Luther King Jr. Day to Juneteenth. Then I reset, and it's from Juneteenth until December 1st, which was when I believe the Montgomery bus boycott started. Then you have December 1st to Kwanzaa, and then from January 2nd until whenever Martin Luther King Jr. Day is, that's when I rest. Okay. But Black History Month means the world to me, because I've always had Black pride, and now to see other people experiencing like different parts of the culture, and not in a way that trivializes it, but in a way that appreciates it, I think is really important and really exciting, to know that my culture is worthy of the world stopping and acknowledging its greatness. So I think that's one of the big things that I'm really appreciative about Black History Month, just as the month of February. And then outside of the month of February, when I'm still celebrating, it's just in general because it's lit being Black.
That's right. And I wanted to add for Brianna, if she's on, she talked about Angela Davis.
Mm-hmm.
She talked about George Jackson and his brother and being involved in that. Those were the two brothers that helped to create Black. And we talked about it in August, how Black August came to be was through the prison industrial complex and the brothers that were striving to make their lives better. So every August, they remember some of the brothers and sisters that have come before them, and they have a unique way of displaying that. So I just wanted to say that, hey, listen, Ruth, we're going to come back with Jody with community shout outs and solutions. And he's also going to give his take on the CSRN at the Lucas County Commissioners. He wants to talk about the flag being there. It's still there. It's still, and also, and whatever else Jody does, all right?
All right.
He does it all. So if you could let's go to commercial. Let's come back. CSRN Video Minutes. Thank you. Stay with us. We'll be right back. We are back. We're back. Hey, look, it's Brother Washington. Thanks for hanging with us today. We're about to pass it to Jody. But before we pass it to Jody, I wanted to just make an acknowledgement that February the 7th was National Black HIV AIDS Day. So we're encouraging everyone to get tested. Know your status. Yes, I know that we're living in the pandemic, but HIV AIDS is still one of the biggest scourges of our community. And even though we're in the pandemic, let's not take our eyes off of HIV is still taking a lot of us out. And some of us may or may not know our status. So if you don't know your status, get tested. And even though Sunday was National Black AIDS HIV Day, we can still get tested. And I wanted to say, with our presentation today, I was born in the 60s. And I remember a lot of, growing up in the 60s, growing up in the 70s. And it's awesome to see how the culture of protest, the culture of activism, the culture of not being swayed by others, it's just grown. And it's awesome to be a part of the 60s era, the 70s, the 80s era, and now. So it's great to be a part of that. And just wanted to say that, Jody, hey, listen, we're going to talk about Lucas County Commissioners. What were your thoughts on that? What's your thoughts on seeing the red, black, and green flag, and also those who are in our community? We still have violence. We still have death. We still have disappointment. How did you wrap up and kind of put all that together and have your thought process given to us? I don't even know if that made sense, but man, what's going on, Jody?
Okay. So I think it's good. Like during the process, and again, Ruth, you're awesome. The perfect person that can intern that didn't come down here. It was like, oh, this is studio. I'm just by myself. And just, I've seen people freak out on camera or just not be able to read. And it was very good. And I was told you wrote that because I was gonna be like, I'm gonna put my wiki links wherever I got my stuff from on our page. And then Brother Washington was like, that's Ruth. Sign it.
That's right.
That's okay. Oh, and then of course you did a perfect, not rendition, but of That's You. So I thought it was, I haven't watched the whole thing back. I have trouble watching videos back that I've already been a part of. It's an entertainment thing. But I think it fit perfectly because again, who else to speak better on Malcolm X than somebody who is actually from or is within the brotherhood to actually give light to other people who's just looking from the outside. And, oh, yeah, there's some bow ties and bean pies and some get that paper with me. But if you're actually in that,
you said that pretty good. Hey, wait a minute, I remember you. All right, my heart is hurt. Hey, all right, I remember seeing him in his Lexus. Get that paper out my face. All right, I got you. All right.
But it feels good to do stuff like that. And even again, she's never been here or seen what we do in the studio and in the way and talking to people. So I thought that was a very good pick because you could tell as she was reading, she was learning. Awesome job, Ruth. And for me, it's I don't know. During the process, as I was talking to them right before we got on camera, I had somebody get on our post about flag raising last year. It's like, so what does that mean? It's only up for a month. What about the whole year? And I'm like, I intelligently talked to them, but it came to a good consensus because they saw my point, I saw their point, as in it started out as a day, as a week, as having nothing to begin with except chains and all that stuff. So it's progress. It's for the people who have not made it to our age and can look up and just want to question more, want to find out more. So I think we might have opened some of the eyes of and stuff, and go back and look at y'all facial expressions. Now, but I think it was very good because again, they were that era, so they lived through a lot of that and saw that, especially Gherkin and how he was the one who helped us pick those people and everything. So he saw that and it was impassionate to them. And now they're politicians, they're commissioners, they're making laws. So 1 in a million. But again, I think it was very good. As far as stuff that goes on, me and Brother Washington was joking. Everybody was afraid about 2020, everything that happens. But guess what? It's 2021. It's officially able to drink. So you remember when you turn 21? Okay, some of us maybe 16 or younger. But anyway, that's another story. But when you turn 21, you just go, wow. So that's kind of what this year has been so far. And we had the Capitol stuff. Alone, I've lost since pandemic about 25 people. Some closer than others. Lost my last matriarch to my family a couple weeks ago. So it's difficult. Here locally, we just had that horrible situation at the burn port. I don't know all the details, but that is kind of what happens in this society. I live in the Weilers, do all this stuff. It's not what your neighborhood is. It's the situation. It could happen anywhere. It could happen in the suburbs. It could happen in the trailer park. It could happen in a homeless shelter. It could happen in the White House. That's kind of just functional family that kind of stormed the Capitol. But it's rough. And it's only there to help you grow. I definitely want to give acknowledgement to somebody who was a pillar of the community. and we recently just lost her, Tamika L. Gray. And kind of condolences, a moment of silence, because she was a beautiful spirit in the community through healthcare and spirituality and a whole bunch of other stuff. And she will be greatly, greatly missed. But this is why we do this stuff, to remember our ancestors, to remember we have a history that most of the time will not get written about in a book. You won't see it on somebody's TikTok. You won't see it on somebody's Facebook because it's not good for views, because it's stuff that mattered. Again, as always, I do shout out to all the organizations that are still out here pushing and striving, the Arts Commission. I know we don't necessarily promote going out to nightclubs, but it's Black-owned business. It's doing, still trying to keep alive in the midst of the pandemic. So shout out to the Spotlight. They got events going on up there for Valentine's Day, a lot of local artists and stuff like that. Kips also works with the same people. They got Guy Tori, those guys, comedian. I don't watch TV, sorry people. He's coming up here. Nicola, which is from one of our locations, but she's up at the Swingfield Plaza. She's doing another pop-up shop for the 10th, the 11th, and the 12th, I think it is. And I'll be there on the 11th doing open mic poetry. So our numbers may be condensed. We may not be able to get out the house as much, especially now that winter is set in. But remember to love yourself. Remember, as Brother Washington was saying about mental health, for me, I get asked a question all the time, but I can slip in and out of my different genres. Even though I love what I do, is I can put Black in front of anything I want to. My books, my artwork, the illustrations, but I don't need to because it's a part of me. Now, you can find me that way, but if you look at my pages, there ain't no, I'm a Black artist. Yeah, I'm an artist. If my skin tone or my color or where I live helps to inspire you, then that is awesome. And I will, no matter what, for anybody of any color and injustice. But just remember, at the end of the day, you only got you. Hug yourself, love yourself, talk to your friends and family, because the time is finite and you may not get the chance to say it tomorrow. So.
All right. You know what? We need to check in with Ruth to see if did she say
our viewers.
Right. Did we say anything about? Did Ruth say anything about the Black Lives Matter awards?
Nope. We still got that section coming up.
Right.
We may want to go commercial break and let people digest that. Ruth, come back with that bubbly, super awesome energy.
All right, so let's take a short break, Ruth. We're going to come back, Black Lives Matter Awards. How can people help and support us? And then we're going to turn it over to Jody for 5 minutes of heat. Yeah. All right, so, hey, look, stay tuned. CSRN Video Minutes. Come right back.
Hey, I'm Dr. P. Not only am I a leadership coach, I'm a change agent, and I'm a race scholar. I've used my study of race to dismantle systems and organizations, but I also use that to help you as the individual become a better leader for your families and for your community.
All right, we're back. Hey, look, before we get started with bringing Ruth on to talk about the Black Lives Matter Awards, it is a thing. It's coming up. It's coming up soon. The Black Lives Matter Awards, and this is our fourth. It's really our
scholarships.
It's really our fourth, because we had a Black Lives Matter scholarship where we looked at so many applicants and writing essays on what Black Lives Matter really means to them. I think the first place was $1,000. The second place was $500. I think the third place was $200. That was a lot, and all of that was generated by the community to make that happen. And best believe, as we talk about the Black Lives Matter Awards, Refund Toledo is still in effect. If you want to know more about Refund Toledo, go to our page, or we've got a lot of signs, all right? Or if you could just go to csrntoledo.com, or you can just go to our change.org/Refund Toledo. learn about the mission. It's much more than signs. Yep, we got signs. As you see, we got plenty of signs, but the signs, there's a lot of substance behind these signs. So it's a lot of research behind these signs. So make sure you support these efforts. So talk about the Black Lives Matter Awards. Where are we in the Black Lives Matter Awards? Do we still have? Are there any nominees that you want to give a hint? Are there any nominees you want to kind of give a hint, or did Jody put me up to ask the wrong question? All right.
Okay, so the first group of applicants, or I'm sorry, the first group of nominees have already come in. I'm so excited to see some of these names. People as big as Mondale Robinson, who's a part of Clickbaity, the political thirst trap. He's also one of the founding members of Black Men Vote in Georgia. Another big name that we have is Sonia Rennell of Sonia's Organic. She was nominated many, many times, and we are so excited to uplift her and her business. Anthony King, who is the lead of Brave, which is the Bowling Green organization for the Black Lives Matter movement. I'm trying to think of some other people who are on the list. I guess we can say that we have officially nominated Stacey Abrams
Right.
to be recipient for the Black Lives Matter Awards. And then, Brother Washington, I'll let you name someone.
All right. Well, you know what? We've got so many people that we wanted to lift up, and I don't know if he's watching this, but we've been watching Chris Pope for the last 2 years. He has an auto selling business. I think it's exclusive detail. I hope I'm saying that right, but it really doesn't matter because I'm bringing all my cars to you. We watched this brother start with a water hose, pretty much a water hose in a bucket of soap, and he didn't allow anybody to deter him by saying that there's a car wash downtown or there's a car wash near the mall. He decided to start his own business, and now he has a free-standing business. He started with a water hose and a bucket. Then he moved to his garage. To now he has a freestanding
Nice.
business. His name is Chris Pope. Find him on Facebook, and he gets right back to you. Schedule your cars, all of them. He does it inside and out. He made my wife's car look so good. I didn't want to give it back to her, but I know I'm going to lose that battle, so I gave it right back to her. So we're looking at Chris Pope. We want to nominate Chris Pope for a Black Lives Matter award. Those are going to be the nominees that we mentioned. Now there's so many more coming, Ruth. There's so many more coming. So many people that are doing an awesome job that may not get that recognition because they're not looking for it.
Right. And so I think that's one of the things that makes our awards so special. Number one, we asked the community to nominate these people, and we wanted to make sure that they're people who aren't normally recognized. I think when you get into movement work or activism or any type of community work, there tend to be the same 6 or 7 people who get called on or who get acknowledged or whose name kind of rings out a little louder than everyone else's. And we want to make sure that everyone who's doing the work is getting the recognition. So we gave you the first 5. And if you come back next week and the week after, you may find out a few more people who have been nominated, but you can still donate. If you go and if you look at the ticker across the bottom of the screen, you can go to csrn.com I'm sorry, csrntoledo.com. And if you look at our website, that's how you can nominate individuals. But also, if you are interested in donating financially, you can go to Cash App. Our cash tag is hashtag CSRN419. If you prefer to use PayPal, our account is paypal.me/CSRN. If you're interested in being a sponsor for the event, just know that the sponsorship levels are actually done in conjunction with Food Not Bombs, because we want to make sure that our community members are being fed not only holistically, but also physically and actually. We want to make sure that we're feeding our community, we're keeping them healthy, we're giving them resources, we're giving them access to whatever it is that they may need. And the last thing is the extension has been made. So originally the cutoff date was yesterday, but we realized we were still receiving so many nominations that we wanted to give a little more time. So you have until February 14th, which happens to be Valentine's Day. And I think that's a great way to show someone you love them. Yes.
All right.
By nominating them. Hearts.
All right.
Yes. So
I am not making a heart. All right. But
come on, finish my heart. Finish my heart. No.
I know.
But yeah, so there are lots of opportunities. And also, CSRN, we are in the early stages for bringing our teaching series back. So you should look for the teaching series next month. Of course, with next month being Women's History Month, we'll be looking at iconic women in Toledo and across the country who are continuing to do the work. So we're all about making sure that we keep the general public informed about what we're doing and about how they can help as well.
Speaking of iconic women, I know I ran across the post the other day. I was talking about a movie, part 2, or something coming out.
Yes. Okay. So Black Men Unfiltered Part 2 will be released on Juneteenth of this year. And it's bigger and blacker and manlier than ever.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, like we're going there. We're getting into the nitty gritty of the Black male experience. So yep. So yeah, if you look on CSRN's page, you can see the trailer for Black Men Unfiltered Part 2, and then also look for it a premiere with CSRN this June.
All right. Hey, look, I think that we're ready to wrap up. I think that I've got everything that I needed to say.
Maybe about 30 seconds.
All right.
Tune up these vocal cords. For the listeners out there, we do what is called
5 minutes of heat. It's a different way that we close out our meeting. We don't necessarily close out our meeting with Robert's rules and just decide to adjourn after everybody agrees with the minutes and mess like that. You know, we're Black people, we got soul, and we can find new ways to meet. As you see, none of us carry a title of president or leader or CEO or executive director. We don't do anything like that. The only recognizable title that we really have is treasurer, because for the people that donate their pennies, nickels, and dimes, we wanted to select a person that I believe has the most character and most trustworthy and dependable, you know, and that's Jody. Other than that, hey, we're all in for whatever. And we created 5 minutes of heat, was based off of a old school rap song by a group called named Houdini. One of the rappers passed last year. His name was Ecstasy. And they had a song called 5 Minutes of Funk. And me as at one point I was an aspiring rapper. All right, that's your little Black history fact for the day. All right, not anymore, not unless you will hot 16. I could do that. All right, but I don't want to embarrass myself or the people next to me. So we've got what we call 5 minutes of heat. Jody is our resident.
I didn't understand that.
Jody is our resident poet. My phone is saying it don't understand what it's recording. Damn. Yeah. but Jody's our resident poet, and today he has something that he's going to bring to us, and then we'll close out our meeting with our solidarity pledge.
Yep. So give us about 30 seconds to a minute. Again, it's an honor to be able to do this for so long, have vocal capacity to reach people, and get on commercial break.
All right, so let's take a quick break, group. Set Jody up, get his miking and his lighting just right, and we'll be right back.
Now you can get the same uncompromising truth you've come to expect from the Final Call newspaper on all your connected devices. Subscribe to the Final Call Digital Edition today. Go to subscribe.finalcalldigital.com.
All right, we're back. CSRN Video Minutes. This is the part where we close out. Before we close out, we always close out with 5 minutes of heat. Our creative expression, our resident poet, our resident spoken word, our resident author, chef, all of that. Jody Summers, Child of the System, Spoken Truth, Tears of the Wounded. Hey, that was a trifecta. I got them all right? I got them all in. Actually, I should get at least a free book. All right, or a sticker. All right, hey, I'll take that. So what do you have for us today as we close out?
So today, in honor of Black History Month and all things melanated, I chose this month. Every week we will be doing the pieces that kind of symbolize what this is about. Revolution and unity and peace, and there's quite a few in my Rolodex of pieces. But this one is called Silent Face in the Crowd. It describes the life of an activist that you may not see all the time. It's more prevalent now, thanks to June and pandemic. But yeah, 6 years old. So how I open my pieces is by saying begin peace and end peace. So you know when I'm not just talking and when I'm actually performing. We'll give it about a 5 on the performance scale because kids and stuff. And editing. So let's begin peace. I am an activist. I stand proud with my sign, my pen, my button, my banner, my voice, and belief. Yes, belief that I stand behind. You may find me on the corner or marching, yes, marching with other great minds. We have been called names, spit on, tear gassed, hosed, dog sicked on us, beaten, maimed, murdered, and blamed. All because we believe it's our civil duty, yes, our civil duty to speak out for great injustice and point out, yes, point out the ones that should feel ashamed of the silent murders they commit, poisoning our pipes with lead and filth, killing the environment, and feeding us food, yes, food that never had life in it. Crimes against humanity that make us sick, bombing women and children, cutting forests, and killing kids, yes, killing kids over a bag of Skittles and sip. All so they can become filthy rich. Why do we care, you might ask, as you sit behind your gates counting those blood money stacks, gained from such great pain while you build yourself up, yes, build yourself up on the backs of corporate names. Because we are the people, yes, we are the people who may be the only ones to see through all the lies and hateful, deceitful games you play with our people's hopes and dreams. So we protest, demonstrate, organize, and yes, fight back. Not for ourselves, but for our children, the planet, and those that have our backs. Because we want a world with more peace, more freedom of speech, not fear, hate, lies, discrimination, manipulation, and deceit. And while you may silence one of us, there are millions, yes, millions more that have seen our fire, heard our desire. Now burn, yes, burn for something more. More than the spoon-fed media truth you give to them. You spin to them to corrupt their children. Yes, their children, to no longer defend them. Yes, I am an activist. I stand proud in my resolve, knowing those that came before me strengthen me when I think I might fall. So join the truth. Mahatma Gandhi, Nelson Mandela, Frederick Douglass, Marcus Garvey, Stokely Carmichael, Angela Davis, Bobby Seale, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King Jr. All knew they might fall, but they did what they did for each, yes, each and every last one of y'all. Hands up, don't shoot, I can't breathe. But I will speak, yes, I will speak until there's no more breath in my lungs to speak, to see my people's minds, bodies, and souls released from these evil beasts in peace.
And we don't clap our hands, we snap, all right, we snap our fingers, all right. Man, thank you,
Yeah, how long that one
oh,
is.
thank you, Jody, thank you. I felt that. Hey, it's really, nothing else to say. Ruth,
Solidarity pledge.
We got something else to say.
did you want to do the solidarity pledge? Did
Yes,
you
I
want
did.
me?
Yes.
All right. And
Try to take Ruth that game.
right, in this week's edition of the Final Call, we're going to try to get these out to everybody. This is a classic collector's edition of the Final Call with our sister Cicely Louise Tyson on the cover. So we're going to make sure we get this in the hands of everyone. So contact us through our site. Get your signs, get your collector's edition of the Final Call newspaper. It's an awesome picture right there of our sister.
Yeah.
Awesome picture.
Yeah.
All right.
Alrighty. Well, at the end of all of our meetings, we close out with our solidarity pledge. That is our promise not only to ourselves, but to each other to continue to fight the good fight until we meet again. So please repeat after me. Everyone say I.
Hi.
Hello. Thank you. Your name.
Brother Washington.
No, your name. Pledge to strive.
Pledge to strive.
To love my brothers and my sisters.
To love my brothers and my sisters.
As I love myself.
As I love myself.
I. Say your name.
Brother Washington.
Pledge to strive.
Pledge to strive.
To study to improve myself.
To study to improve myself.
Spiritually. Mentally. Morally. And physically. For the benefit of myself. My family. And my people. I. Say your name.
Child of the system.
Pledge to strive.
Pledge to strive.
To be part of the solution.
To be a part of the solution.
The process.
The process.
And not the problem.
And not the problem.
I. Say your name.
Spoken truth.
Pledge to strive.
Pledge to strive.
To give all that I can spare.
To give all that I can spare.
Of my time.
My
strength. And energy. To achieve. The above said. Now give yourselves a round of applause.
Great job.
You got that Avengers double ending. You got to stay to all the way to the end.
You got to stay all the way to the end.
Yes.
Awesome job, Ruth. And as always, all lives can't matter until Black Lives Matter. and Black lives can't matter until all Black lives matter. Justice or else? Peace. Thank you, Ruth.